Okay, one more time today because I went for a walk and well, before I went for a walk I got a comment from Jerome Shaw, and he pointed out this so annoyingly simple the answer of meditation, so annoyingly simple. And then I stumbled upon a video from Ray Maor, I think, yeah, on YouTube, where his YouTube video is titled "Addicted to Complexity." So from there, I go out for a walk, and I'm just thinking about this, addicted to complexity, and I have also noticed, with this breatharian path that usually you don't go from consuming very complex information like eat meat or I don't know, heavy drugs, alcohol, regularly, and a lot of it, if you're used to that kind of complex information, then I don't think you're gonna, I think it's unlikely that you jump right straight into breatharianism, because it's really it's so complex to so simple, the information that you are consuming. So I thought it was so interesting, this complex versus simple and addiction. And can I even be addicted to something simple? Is it I don't know, but it seems to me like addiction is it's usually something complex. And okay, you can be addicted to, I guess you can be addicted to raw food as well, just eating bananas every day only, and you start feeling like you get addicted to it. But that's maybe another path that I can travel further down. But I was thinking about this this addiction to complexity. And so I went to a cafe. I had to sit down and write down everything that I was thinking about, and I just kind of I also had another thought in mind, which was the more you consume, which also Jerome Shaw, he reminded me of, the more you consume, the less you create, and the more you create, the less you consume. So I was like, okay, wait. So I wrote, the more I create, the less I consume. The more I consume, the less I create. Okay, so also not just the amount or the time that I spend creating versus consuming, it's also what I create. So I thought, whoa, so what, with this, I hear a lot on the breatharian path, or I've heard it from, for instance, from Dana Sheen? Shayna Dean? No, whoa, Shayna Dean. Oh my goodness, I cannot remember her name right now. Shayna Dean, right? Shayna Dean? I think so, yeah. She says a light mind creates a light body. There has to be, you have to have a light mind to live in a light body. It goes hand in hand. So what does that mean, this light mind? And I thought, well, that actually means, that means to me at least very focused thinking and in control, kind of efficient thinking. Not your mind is not all over the place and not, constant noise. It's you dedicate space for no mind, for just, meditation. And then when you think, you are more in control, and there's more care with what thoughts you have in your mind. And those thoughts are your creation, right? We always say that everything in our, that's what I hear, that everything in my everything in my reality is what is like the mind is, or the thought is the origin of matter, basically. So that's where my creation is. And so the level of complexity of my mind will then be the level of complexity that I want to consume. So it's like, creation is like output, and input, like it's, creation is going out from my mind. So the level of complexity is going out of my mind, and I expect, and I like the reflection is going to be the same level of complexity as I put out. So then I thought, so what is I wrote, the more complexity I create, the more complexity I consume. So this is about like the breatharian path is like a complexity detox. And so it's like simplifying everything more and more and more. And that's also what I made another video about, saying health and wealth is simplicity to me, in my experience. Simplicity. This is so exciting. So I just got excited by this because as I went further on this journey, I realized that what simplicity is focus. Simplicity is focus on one area rather than many, countless, multiple, various areas. Like, for instance, we can take food, simple food would be, I always bring the good old banana, or a burger, right? Like, which one is more simple? You would obviously go to the banana, like that's the simplest. Like, it's simple because it's in focus. There's not, like, there's nothing else, right? There's no chocolate, there's no peanut butter, there's no milkshake, there's no ice cream, there's no, it's just the banana in its purest form. Focus on the banana. Burger, there's many areas of where you can bring focus to, right? So it's complex and it's simple. So there's focus. And I remember I was mentioning in another video of mine, I was referring to a video from Jerome Shaw where he was talking to Morgan at the Pranic Morgan from the Pranic Festival this year, and he was telling a story about he was giving an example of how powerful focus is by concentrating sun rays onto paper through like a glass ball, and it can by creating this focus, the sun rays, they get so concentrated that they actually burn the paper. So there's a lot here. So I thought like, wow, that's intimidating, right? Like that sounds powerful to me. Like that focus can do that, right? It can burn paper. Focus alone can burn paper. With no focus, there's no burning the paper because the sun is just everywhere and it's spreading out its sun rays. But if I, with my mind, create a space of focus for the sun rays, I can burn paper. So that's quite powerful, right? And I thought maybe that's why I've had difficulties in my life to find a place for that kind of power, like that extent of my human power. So, and I didn't know what to maybe do with it. Like I couldn't really find a place for it in my life. But now I'm fine. Now I'm connecting with it because I really want to simplify my life, and by simplifying my life, I am creating focus, and that's powerful. That is superpower. That is human superpower. Yeah. So I wrote a list of simplifying consumption and simplifying creation. Like you can focus on either side, and it will affect the other side. So if I focus on simplifying my consumption, it will affect my creation as well, and the other way around. So, but I was just making a list, like, so what can I do to simplify my life, and which means how can I have a more focused life. So in simplifying consumption, I wrote, in terms of food, the ultimate focused consumption is meditation. That's wow. And then there's water. That's the next. That's like another level of complexity in terms of consuming. And then there's a cucumber, an apple, some berries, and then there's maybe a fruit salad, and then there is maybe a smoothie, so you can go up and up and up and consume more and more complex or simpler foods, And then there's internet. I thought, okay, I usually put my YouTube videos on full screen just so that I have my attention on the video and it's not like other videos on the side and so on. So, and also watching YouTube videos or reading things online or looking at things online with clarity and intention, And then listening to myself, to my environment, coming to my senses. That's also simplifying my consumption, because it's I'm paying attention, and yeah. And then I said nature trains simple consumption, and whereas city encourages complex consumption. So if I want to train if it's also like you can train yourself by exposing yourself to lots of complexity and still be that focused that it doesn't affect you and you don't get tempted by it. But maybe when you're doing a complexity detox, might be a good idea to go to the nature instead of constantly what about a coffee, or what about the bookstore, or what about the secondhand store, what about a juice, or so when I'm doing a detox, complexity detox, maybe I should rather go to the forest, instead of going into the city. So yeah, and okay, and then I can continue with this list, but it's just I'm also gonna write. I'm gonna write all this down and I'm gonna share it as a blog, so you can also read it, because I thought, yeah, I want to do that. I want to share my notes, because I think it can be useful as well to just look at text rather than listening to a YouTube video. And so I want to share that as well. I think maybe I will do like my notes. Like, I'm not gonna do like an article kind of style. Maybe I'm just gonna start maybe doing here are my notes, kind of organized, and have a look if you like, you know. Kind of organized, but not in a classic article blog kind of form. Anyway, moving on to the simplifying creation, focused creation. I wrote, you know, concentrating on what I am doing one thing, you know. So if I'm cooking food for my partner, I am cooking food for my partner. I'm noticing everything and I'm just focusing on that. And dedicating time for certain things, you know. Maybe that's where a schedule will enter my life. Who knows? Let's see. But maybe also not. Maybe just saying, now I'm going to meditate for half an hour, and that's it. And this time is for my meditation. You know, like just dedicating, like my time, or meditation has my time. Meditation, you have my time now. You have my attention now. Or like showering and going to the shower. Then I say, shower, you have my time now. I dedicate my time to you, you know. And then awareness and control of thoughts, which is trained by meditation, for instance. And The Power of Now, the book. I want to look at that again. I haven't looked at it for a while, so I want to have a look again. Oh, that was such a good. It changed my life, basically. That book, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And oh yeah, and then the last thing I wrote is running. Running is a good way to train focus, because when I'm running, I am running, and that's it. And I'm not gonna stop running, because for one, I don't, the reason why you don't run in circles around, like another reason why I don't run circles around my house is because, one, it's not very fun, and two, it's because you can just quit anytime, right? And just go home. But usually when I run further away from my home. Like I go like a long distance away from my home, and then I go back to my home, like, you know. And by doing that, I'm not gonna stop at any point really and just decide to walk home. It's not, also because I'm gonna get cold, you know. So there's no stopping. There's also no stopping for like, let me have usually I wouldn't run to the city. I would run to nature also, which I also mentioned. That's a good way to not be distracted by complexity. Like, so I would run to nature, and there's no like, let me have a cup of coffee, or, you know, or let me go to the bookstore, or let me go to the secondhand store, you know. So I'm just running, and that trains my ability to stay focused on one activity. Like if I have trouble with for instance, sitting down, doing something for a while, like reading a book or anything that requires my focus, I can train myself by going for a run. And I bet there's many other ways I can do that, but running is very, very powerful, because I'm not just gonna stop running, you know. I'm gonna continue running. So it's like I'm forced to train my focus, because it doesn't make my life easier to stop running, because I get cold and there's a long way to walk home, and it doesn't make sense to run and then sit down and have a cup of coffee and do a little bit of shopping and then continue running, So you know what I mean, I guess. So wow, focus is essentially simplicity, and simplicity is health and wealth in my world. Just enjoying those small things in life, enjoying a smile on the streets, you're just wide awake and paying attention to people passing by you and looking into their eyes and smiling and enjoying that, and really not, yeah, this is good. This is really good. So that's what the breatharian path is. It's simplifying, I think. I'm also wondering, how complex can your life be as a breatharian, right? Yeah. I don't think I'll get addicted to smiling at people on the street and meditating and, complexity versus simplicity. Very interesting. And I now, now just focus makes so much sense to me. Focus. Focus, focus, focus.